Hello everybody, my name is Super Chicken. I've been trying to work on a warrior deck recently, but unfortunately I can't seem to quite get one that works quite right. So I decided to give my Warlock deck, my Warlock control deck, another run in the meantime. So here it is, let's see what we can do with it. I have actually dropped a couple of ranks trying to test out a couple of new decks. Like I'm trying to build this warrior deck, and I'm trying to build a priest deck, and a couple of other trying new things with the existing decks. But unfortunately, playing in casual mode at the moment isn't the way to go because the open beta has just come out, and the casual mode is sort of filled with classic openings such as Gold Char Footman or, you know, Arcane Missiles, Coin Arcane Missiles, and it's just not a really good testing environment because I feel a bit slack when I start dropping Yasiras and things all over them. Anyway, so you gotta take it to ranked, and then you take in, you know, terrible decks there and you get slaughtered for it, so that's more or less what I've been doing. So I thought I'd try to run this Warlock deck in the meantime. So I'm going to get rid of all of these cards, I think. Against the Warrior, I may actually keep the Mountain Giant, though. Quite possibly. Actually, I might ditch the Mountain Giant here. I think we're gonna go for survivability. The Mountain Giant would be good if we were going second, because then we could get it out maybe turn 4, and then, you know, introduce them to a world of pain, but unfortunately we're going first, and he's going to have that early tempo advantage with the coin, so maybe just drawing into some early low-costing removal spells might be the way to go. I mean, we got to drain life in this case, but we don't really have much more action, so it looks like our first few turns are going to be using life tapping, and hopefully getting a Twilight Drake or draining life as required. The very fact that he played a Lepinome turn 1 sort of indicates to me that he's probably an aggro deck. Anything that sort of... If it's a Lepinome, they're going for your life total specifically. They're not really trying to... They don't have any illusions about it. Like, they want to do damage with the Lepinome. And that's usually because of his Death Rattle effect. You know, it does directly 2 damage to you. So this guy's, I would imagine, wanting to kill me as quickly as he possibly can. I think the best bet here is to instantly remove the Warsong Commander because it stops me taking unnecessarily large amounts of damage, because he'll probably drop a, you know, a low strength creature, but it could still mess me up quite badly. He could even drop down like a Raging Worgen, then inner rage it, and it still has charge, and I'll get hit for 8 damage. Just because of that, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 extra damage on turn, what, his turn 3 is unacceptable actually, so we're just going to Shadow Bolt that away. Like, the possibility of him doing that much damage is... We can't allow him to do that. And generally speaking, just playing a Warsong Commander like that onto an open board is not very strong. Okay, there's that Raging Worgen I was just talking about. He doesn't have haste, so it wasn't instantly enraged, but it doesn't mean that it won't be. I mean, we can actually remove the Raging Worgen right now. We can do it with Hellfire and take them both out. Or we can just Shadow Bolt the Raging Worgen. The alternative would be to play Twilight Drake and get as the largest size Twilight Drake that we can get. Although I actually sort of feel like the big health on the Twilight Drake is not super relevant at the moment. Like, sure, we're not getting an 8 health creature or a 7 health creature. We might get a 6 health creature, but that's still going to stop him pretty hard. Like, he can't really deal with that too easily. I'm probably just going to Hellfire though, because I don't really want to take enrage effects from this guy. I'll just pass the turn. I just don't want to open myself up to the possibility of taking... Oh, well, inner rage would be, what, 4, 4, 8, 9, 10... Whoa. Yeah, well, there goes my math. So if he uses inner rage on the Worgen, that would be 6 doubled 12. Yeah, that's 12 damage just from him alone. Which isn't good, for obvious reasons. I'm just wondering, do I play the Twilight Drake, put him down, or Shadow Bolt it? I actually think I Shadow Bolt it because I'm getting so low in my life total. I need to get rid of that. I am tempted. I am really tempted to hit this button, but I'm actually not going to do it now because I'm sort of in that Leroy Jenkins sort of rush down amount of health that I would really rather not expose myself to too easily. And it's not like I don't. It's not like I'm struggling for options here. Like, I do have a number of cards that should be able to handle whatever he puts out. I mean, right now, to handle the Raging Worgen, I need to use 2 cards, but at the very least, Mortal Coil will draw me another card, so really it's only a 1-for-1 trade. What's he doing? He passed. Did he just not attack me? I think, okay, yeah, obviously. He suspects that we have Molten Giants in hand, which is probably a good thing. So he's sort of holding back for the ability to one-shot us, basically. Which means he's probably a good player, because he at least knows what's up. I'm going to put the Twilight Drake out as sort of like a feeler. It's like a, you know, see what's going on. I'm not going to life tap again. I'm not actually holding Molten Giants, so I don't want to lower myself. And I'm just going to make it easier for him to one-shot me. Because that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to do my remaining health total in 1 swift movement, and that's not so good. Mortal Strike. Yes, quite aggressive. Well, there's our Molten Giant, so I might as well plant that firmly into the onto the board. It's free, so let's do that. Actually, beg your pardon, I definitely should have done Mountain Giant first if I was considering it. But I don't think I'm actually considering playing Mountain Giant. I just wanted to touch on this quickly. I realized it was 6 costing, so I could have played that and the Molten Giant, but I just die if I play this card. So, basically I need to use a combination of other cards to deal with these. I'll probably just... because you can do 3 damage, he'll probably kill us regardless of what we do. I think we definitely need to play Drain Life and Earthen Ring Farseer to beef out our life a little bit. That's 6 mana. We can trade the dragon with his Worgen, and then we can Mortal Coil his Loot Hoarder, and that should keep us alive. I think that's the plan. Is that the plan? Feels like the plan. Let's try this first. Let's get our life up. I think I definitely need to use Drain Life. Just that extra health buffer would be really, really good. I'm just wondering if we bother using Mortal Coil, if we keep it or not. I'm actually going to use Drain Life on the minion, not Mortal Coil. I'm actually just saving the Mortal Coil. I could have used Mortal Coil on the creature and then Drain Life Garrosh. And I still would have gained the life, but I would have cantripped this card. I'm just keeping it as an extra piece of removal. An extra, like if he drops another 1 toughness creature, I'll actually have a way to deal with that now. I realize I can do this, but if he brawls me or something like that, then I lose all my minions anyway. So I'm just sort of keeping a card in reserve, one that can deal with things like this, I suppose. It's actually probably important now that he's played a Leper Gnome to actually use Mortal Coil to cantrip into another spell, because I need to be able to heal myself. I'll be able to heal myself with Jaraxxus back to 15, but I need to last 2 more turns. So in the meantime, I'm sort of really wanting to get another Earthen Ring Farseer or even a Taunt creature out or something like that. So I'm going to need to Sense Demons, Mortal Coil next turn. Matter of fact, I'm probably just going to Sense Demons now and hopefully pull out a Voidwalker. I think... Actually, I will pull out a Voidwalker. Because I'm holding Lord Jaraxxus, I only have 4 demons in this list, which means... and Lord Jaraxxus is one of them. There's 3 other demons, 2 Voidwalkers and a Void Terror. So by sensing demons, I will pull out a Voidwalker, which will beef out my health supplies just that little bit. So I'm going to go and grab that. I'm going to do this before I Mortal Coil this creature. Because if I Mortal Coil this creature and then draw out, like, a Voidwalker, then I've reduced the effectiveness of my Sense Demons, in my opinion. I'm going to use this. I sort of really want to cantrip now. I've actually increased the odds of this cantripping into a healing spell. Unfortunately, I didn't get it, but by doing it in that order, by playing I can't even think of the name of it, Sense Demons first, pulling out the demons like this, and then Mortal Coiling, I've actually increased the odds of pulling out a healing card. Unfortunately, I didn't hit it. I'm sorry, but I did try. He basically has to get past this, which I would imagine he'd be able to do quite comfortably, and kills me with an Arcanite Reaper. But he just needs to get past the Voidwalker. It's a pretty flimsy defense, I must say. It just depends whether or not he has the card to do the job or not. Basically, this matchup will hinge on whether or not he can kill this Voidwalker this turn. Because if he, otherwise I just kill him, right? Like straight out with all my creatures, he dies. He's equipped with the axe, so all he needs to do is have a haste creature, or all he has to do is have a removal spell. Practically anything will kill this, but that's all he needs to do. He needs to kill my Voidwalker.
Back to work.
Execute, maybe? In a rage? Will... He does... That's 2 cards? Oh my gosh, did he just... He just Fiery War Axed. Oh, he didn't have it after all that. Wow. Looked like he was going somewhere with that. That's alright, I won't complain. I'll take that. I actually sort of feel like if we were to play again, he would have beaten me. I think he had the better deck in that matchup. I will take my victory and I'll run like a thief. That feels good, but I don't wish to draw him as an opponent again. Also, another question for everybody. Have you ever played an opponent and then played the same opponent immediately again after? I've noticed it happening a little bit in the last week. Maybe it's just my luck, I'm not too sure. And the way to check that, in case you didn't already know, you can look at their player name up here, and then check down here and you can actually see the player name of the person you just played. And this is not the same person. Okay, Druid, I'm probably imagining that they're going to be playing big stompy creatures for the end game, so I'm actually going to get rid of these. I'm going to keep the Shadow Bolt here, because 4 damage is pretty solid and can remove most creatures. But these ones are for tiny creatures, tiny sissy creatures, and I don't really expect that from a Druid at this point in time. Having a triple giant is pretty good. Well, you know, against a Druid maybe it's pretty good. Because I'm going to be able to drop one, then the other, just giant after giant. I think that's going to be the aim of this game. We'll certainly see what he does. I mean, there are things like mid-range Druid, and they drop a lot of actual threats and that sort of thing. So, it's going to be hard to say what's what, but let's find out. I'm going to life tap instead of playing the Voidwalker. I don't think playing the Voidwalker actually really puts us ahead. It stops us taking 2 damage, but at this point in the game, I think we actually do want to take damage. Because we want to get ourselves low enough to play double Mountain Giant in 1 turn. And 2 damage a turn, trickling in, or 3 if you count Shapeshift, is a manageable source of damage that will slowly peck us down, and that's okay. So I don't actually want to play the Voidwalker right now. I'll play this just to sort of, you know, generally harry him and his minions, but not lose a card in the process. And I'll just pass the turn. One of the good things about the Warlock is that you can use Life Tap to make both of these giants cheaper. One activation of Life Tap will make both of those giants cheaper. So, I mean, you draw a card to make the Mountain Giant cheaper because it is based on the cards you hold, and you can also do the same with Mountain Giant because it taxes you life. So it's a perfect synergy if you ask me. Turn 4 Mountain Giant. Here you go. I'm actually going to Mortal Coil this way anyway, because I sort of have a board presence now. And he sort of goes from, like, using that creature, he could have done 2 damage, and then maybe he could have made that 6 damage up with his remaining 5 mana that he'll have next turn. But without that creature, he is relying entirely on things from his hand to deal with this. And that can be tough, like an 8/8's tough. You would need, like, double swipe or, you know, some amazing combination of cards to be able to handle that. Or, you know, of course, like Big Game Hunter or something horrifying. I think with this, we just punch our way through. One of the good things about having this creature is that we can just continually punch his creatures. We don't really need to make any sort of concessions. Like, I don't need to flood the board right now. This giant will probably trade with maybe 2 of his cards. Yeah, probably, I would imagine. I'm going to play the Twilight Drake because it's heavily... It's going to be a very big one, like 8 or 9 maybe. 10! There you go. That's what you get for not counting your cards. I've said it once and I've said it again. I really wish I had a card counter here. I can see that's 7, I can see that's 21, I can see that's 18, but I can't even see my own without having to, you know, count it out. Anyway, just something I'd like to see. 10 toughness creature is not something to sneeze at. That's pretty good. This one is, of course, vulnerable to a charge attack, but it's okay if it dies. I could actually play the Voidwalker right now. It will stop charge minions like Cat Form, Druid of the Claw. But he still dies to a swipe, and I don't think... playing Voidwalker will only stop the charge creature taking it out, and I don't even think I care. Like, the fact that it will trade with 2 of his creatures, it's already traded with 1. I don't don't feel the need to protect it right now because it's already trading efficiently. That could be a mistake though. I mean, alternatively, I could play Voidwalker now. Okay, it gets swiped anyway. So my Voidwalker would have taken an extra point of damage. And then dies to a bite or something, I would imagine. So I basically saved 1 point of life on my Voidwalker. I'm not even going to play the Voidwalker now. I think we're just going to sort of harry him with these weaker creatures and make him make bad decisions, I think, is the aim here. Or make him use his resources on killing, you know, pointless minions, basically. I'm tempted to... I'm honestly tempted to hit life tap right now. But I think I'm on 9 cards, if I'm right. Looks like 9. And that'll take me to 10, and then I'll burn up another one. So, and I don't really intend to cast any of these cards. The only reason I could hit life tap is if I drop Voidwalker now, and maybe I should do that. I mean, I was saving him, but now that... The only reason that I'm playing Voidwalker is because I'm reaching my maximum hand size. I'm actually going to life tap first, just in case there's a more preferable card to play. And there isn't, so I'm just going to play Voidwalker. I didn't want to play that, but it's because my hand size is getting full, and I gotta do something, otherwise the cards are going to burn up. Plus I had the mana, so it's not the end of the day. Not the end of the world. Let's see what he does.
Mind if I roll need?
I think with the Loot Hoarder, we'll probably Mortar Coil that. That way we both draw a card. Or alternatively, I could help... Hellfire seems ugly because I'm just going to kill my own stuff. I actually didn't expect to be in a dominating board state right now. So, you know. I don't think these minions bother me that much. In fact, I'm actually half considering ignoring these minions. But that could be a mistake. I think... Yeah, I mean, it's just how you disassemble these. Like, how do you want to go about it? I can probably just do it with my cards here, or my creatures on the board without actually using my hand. But I think I'll Mortar Coil this as a start. See what other card I get. Okay. I think I'll just stomp it with this creature. Do I have another Mortal Coil? I do not. The hand was too full. I should have paid more attention to that. I do need to get rid of something, so I might just, you know, restore some health on this guy. I actually don't want to restore the health here. I'm just going to pass. The reason I didn't pick my own health total to restore life on just then is because I actually want to sort of have a chance of getting these Molten Giants out for really, really cheap, really, really rapidly. I have the luxury of owning both of these right now, so that's good. Double Innovate. Okay, at least I don't need to worry about double Innovate for the rest of the game. Okay. Get silenced. I think the large creature here, I think this is the first of many. I am tempted to just destroy it straight away. I am really tempted to do that, especially considering I can just sort of continue my beatdown. But by doing that, I sort of expose myself to bigger cards like Ragnaros and Ysera and things like that, which he almost certainly will be running. So I think we need to actually save this card. It's just a matter of how do we deal with it. I think I can trade away my Twilight Drake and a Shadow Bolt. We'll get rid of that quite nicely. Quite profitably, even. I think that might be the one. That might be the way to do it. Let's do that. I'm actually probably going to ignore the Keeper of the Grove right now. He has to spend a turn futilely attacking my Voidwalker. I think I'm just going to attack him. Is that something that I wish to do? I'm actually not sure. I am going to ignore him. I'm just going to go for him. And sort of see what he can do. I'm going to sense demons. I got to get the end-game demon out. I got to get Jaraxxus into my hand. I will be going on 9 mana next turn, and I'd like to do something with that. So I'm just going to play that whilst I have the mana and pass. I might have miscounted the cards in my hand there. I thought I had 10. So I dropped that quickly, which might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I did have 10, so that's probably I had to drop something, otherwise my next card burns up. Yeah, having that information as a quick number would be really good. It's tempting to just go Jaraxxus now, but if I've learned anything about playing Lord Jaraxxus is that, please, unless you're super desperate, don't play him when there's stuff on the board, because you can actually just die the next turn. It's not good. It is not good. It really isn't. I'm just wondering about how to deal with him. I don't think I have any real clean way of doing that, and I think I just burnt up my own Sylvanas earlier, which is bad. 3, I can probably drain life onto him, and then he gets the other guy. He's back up. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Do I just ignore Khan right now? I actually think I do. I can trade here, profitably. I'll do that. That feels alright. I'm not gonna go for Khan. Khan? I am really tempted to play him right now, but I doubt he can kill me. He seems too slow, but if he drops a rag and then I take 8, I could be particularly low. Actually, I also want to get my Molten Giants out before that, so... Good question. I'm actually just going to put the Spell Mage out, and... Ooh. Talking too much, it seems. Putting the Blood Mage out has no real purpose. It just sort of thinned my hand out a little bit. I've been trying to hang on to these removal spells a little bit. I've sort of put him down as just sort of like a target for him to attack. It's not really serving any other purpose other than drawing me a card at this stage. It seems like probably the weakest way to use this card, but I'm at the sort of position where I just want to drop these two as quickly as possible now. My hand is super full, in case you hadn't noticed. Yeah, I mean, that Shadow Bolt that just burned up would have been absolutely perfect as well. I'm probably going to double drain life here, and then I'll see how I deal with... Actually, you know what? I really do want to put double Mountain Giant at once, and I've got my Jaraxxus Alexstrasza combo together, where basically I just continually refresh my life. So maybe it's just a matter of putting out a Giant and paying 9 for it. I think that's the one. It's costly, but it will at least devour both sides of Khan, which is good. I think that's the best option. Okay, so I'm debating about just jamming Jaraxxus. The reason I'm not jamming Jaraxxus, in case you didn't know, Molten Giant doesn't interact well with Jaraxxus because the discount is based off your maximum life, and the maximum life as Jaraxxus is actually 15. So this is always going to be really, really super expensive. There's the big guy. Probably just... If I just put that back. I can play this for 5. The reason I dropped the Giant first is because I needed the discount. And I'll just ping that away. And now I can sort of heal up using these. I'll headbutt this guy. So after that, I actually got a pretty cheap Giant out. Healed 4 life, took out all of his scenarios. And it looks like I'm in a good position right now. See what he does. Next turn, I'm almost certainly going to play Jaraxxus, unless he sort of floods the board somehow. Looks like he's going to be butting heads. Okay. So I could just... I could just Siphon Soul it. But I'm sort of keeping that. I'm sort of expecting him to play something big and ugly later on. And I think I can take 4 damage. Like, if I set my life to 15... Just wondering. I actually think I'm going to Sense Demons, then Life Tap. And see what I get first. Interesting. Because I can life tap as many times as I want with his extra life, because I'm going to reset my life back to 15 when he hits me. So I'm sort of taking this luxurious turn just to get stuff on the field. So I might even just play my imps. Let's see what happens. I do actually run one Sacrificial Pact, so it will heal me for 5 life. Having those out might make him just... I don't know. I highly doubt he will actually pay those any attention. But if he wants to swing his Barn or Bane Bloodhoof at them, then by all means go for it. So Siphon Soul's going directly into Ysera now. There's a reason we held it, and that's for her. She's sort of like the queen of the endgame, so we're going to get rid of that real quick smart. So I think, actually, what's the best way to do this? Because I want to play Jaraxxus. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of that. I can't let her draw another card. No, thank you. I think if we go two imps into him, followed by a Hellfire, it clears the board and then sets me up for a sweet Jaraxxus next turn. The only downside is that I won't be able to use Sacrificial Pact on these imps. But that's okay, I think. Let's just get rid of it. Okay, looks like we're set up for some terrific late game action. Lord Jaraxxus will probably come out next, assuming that he does nothing relevant. We can back it up with lots of healing from, you know, Farseer and so on. That's fine. You can do that. This is an iffy card in the deck, I must admit. I do only run one of them. It's pretty good because it's a bit of a blowout card against other Warlocks, but you do get some interesting combos with it at the very least. It's a free, like free in air quotes. I'm air quoting right now. Because it costs 0 mana, heal 5. And given that I get those imps out relatively easy, that seems to be the way to go. Okay, so we're going to heal ourselves with Lord Jaraxxus.
You face Jaraxxus, Paladin Lord of the Burning Legion.
Cool. Tell you what, we'll just get rid of that and pass the turn. The reason we're actually running Jaraxxus or even playing this deck at all is because of Jaraxxus and this sweet, sweet ability. If you haven't seen it, it's incredible. Basically, I can make a 6/6 every single turn and... Oh, will he kill me this turn? That's the only thing. 4, 6, and 10. Puts me to 2. Oh my god, he happened to pull the Nightmare. Are you kidding me? Oh, wow. Just my luck, huh? That was, I think I was inches away from total domination in that game. Literally inches. But, hey, when you have a Nightmare in your hand, and apparently you play Force of Nature, then why not, you know? I mean, what are the odds of that coming out? I mean, Ysera draws 1 card, gets Nightmare. I don't know. Oh, so close. Let's try again. Let's try one more time. Sometimes that does happen when you play Jaraxxus. You play Jaraxxus and, like, you just die straight after it. And it's a bit funny because, like, I don't know, he's so powerful. And I actually sort of healed myself just then, so I would have been dead no matter what I played, unless I played sort of like a taunt creature. Like, he was going to kill me that turn. But it seems to happen a lot. I don't know. Like, sort of like you play Jaraxxus and then just die. Or, I don't know. It's because you're hovering around the 15 health mark, but, I mean, you can't really anticipate. He didn't even have a board state, so we can't really anticipate that he's going to be doing that. You know, it's not like he's going to be playing... I mean, 15 damage from a blank board space doesn't happen that often that you need to honestly worry about it. It can, I realize. Like, Leroy Jenkins into Wind Fury or something ridiculous, but, you know. Anyway, here we are. This is a reasonable hand. Twilight Drake might be a good card to see here. Assuming that I don't need to play any cards, but I've got a good feeling I'm going to have to play a few cards because he's playing Scarlet Crusader, which means more than likely Divine Shield aggro, which is actually a bit of a rough matchup for this, unfortunately. I think I'm just going to sense demons and get some Voidwalkers as best I can. Or as quickly as I can. This is going to be Noble Sacrifice. I'm just wondering if I use that now or if I pop his shield. I think I got to pop the shield. I got to, because that's just going to be really troublesome later on. I got to be able to get rid of that shield. Oh, Noble Sacrifice triggers anyway, doesn't it? No choice. Wouldn't matter. Wouldn't matter what I do. I guess that's fine then. The reason I wanted to take down the shield is because if I get like a Mortal Coil soon, then I can just, you know, pip the creature and have it die. It also stops him playing 6/6s, but, you know, that's how it goes. I think I'll just play the Twilight Drake now. Twilight Drake would just be big. They would have to both attack into it. It'll be like an 8. Yeah, 8. I mean, they can both trade into it. He'll lose this creature, and then that'll be 2 health away from, you know, then I can Drain Life it. So it doesn't seem too bad. Or you just Blessing of Kings it. Ow! This one's going downhill quickly. Jeez. I really gotta get Siphon Soul, and I need it now. If I Mortal Coil this guy, I save myself 3 damage, I draw a card. That might be the way. I need to preserve my life total. A 10 costing creature is quite large. I can't actually handle this creature. I need to use these 2 cards in combination though, so I'm actually a little bit shy in the mana department. And I think playing one of them probably won't be enough, because you might be able to put a Divine Shield on it and protect it, sensing that it's weak. I think I might just save those and try to put down some Voidwalkers or something like that. And try to not die. I can actually sort of pressure the board, or pressure his minion. When I say the board, I do mean his minions. I'm going to pressure those with my creatures here. Sort of see what he does, and then this is sort of my backup cannons. Because these 2 together will destroy this creature. I just got to sort of wait for an opportune moment. Okay. I think we just get rid of him right now, while we can. I can actually play Blood Mage into Shadow Bolt and then save a Drain Life, because he took 1 damage. So that's actually going to be better. And that's what I'll end up doing, I think. Oh, wow. That was really looking bad for a minute there. That was really, really, really looking bad. I think I'm actually... Oh, gee. What do? Do I take the shield off and then lose a minion? I don't really want to do that. I'd rather take the shield off with something else. Because, you know, he'll attack this minion and then I won't be able to kill it with a Drain Life in 1 turn. I sort of need him to be not sleeping right now. I'm going to attack his health total. I can't kill him anyway at this point, so I'm going to keep both my creatures up. If I throw 1 creature into him, like I would rather throw Blood Mage into him first to take down the shield and then kill him with the Farseer. But throwing the Farseer into him, the Blood Mage won't finish him now that the shield's down. So, you know, there's a chance he might actually swing into the Blood Mage for me. Or he might throw hammers at me. Where's he going? He's ignoring.
Mind if I roll need?
Okay. I'm hoping that we can sort of keep the pressure off us just that little while longer. What's the play here? I do want to take down this shield. I may even use it at the expense of Blood Mage, but at the same time I can save myself a bit of heartache just by cramming my Blood Mage into his loot hoarder. I sort of wish that shield was down right now, because then I could use Drain Life on him and then use my Blood Mage on that. But I don't think that that's going to happen. I don't think. Let's life tap and see what I can pull out. I think that's pretty good. I think I'll just take down the shield and then Hellfire them. Okay, back to neutral board state. Very good. And surprisingly, we hadn't lost that much health in that early exchange of the game either. Like, I realize I'm on 19 and, you know, about to be pleasantly receiving more, but when they drop a 10-10 as early as they did, I'm honestly surprised that we don't have less health. So I'm probably... This is cheap, but I could get killed next turn, quite possibly, like if he buffs this creature or what have you. So I'm actually really tempted to just Siphon Soul it and get it off the board. Siphon Soul and Loot Hoarder seems to be the play to me. Okay, what's our options? I mean, I can shoot off his shield, which seems to be pretty terrible. I can life tap and see what I get, but then it sort of limits my play if I don't get anything good, or I can Mountain Giant straight up, and then he'll probably swing around me and maybe even kill me. So I think I'm actually going to Siphon Soul, get rid of it while we can. We're actually going to gain life in it, so it's not the worst thing. Basically, our options here are life tap or put a presence on the board, and we're going to go for the board presence, because we can do 2 damage to whatever he plays, and that will help us out a lot. Maybe we can even combo it with Drain Life to, you know, finish off a creature or something like that. Okay. Oh, this again. Alright, well, at least we have... what do we have? Siphon Soul for this sort of shenanigans? We can just kill him straight away. I think that's just what we do. Do we even muck around with this? We just do that straight away? The only reason we wouldn't do that is if we want to play Twilight Drake first. We could play Twilight Drake and, what, take 9 damage? Ugh.
So many possibilities.
I don't think so. I'll just destroy it. Although, we have already used one, and he may have a Tyrion, and I have no clean answer to a Tyrion. Fordering, that is. Just wondering, do I have any other way to handle this guy? I actually don't think so. I mean, he's even bigger than my Molten Giant. Alright, we'll get rid of it. We'll get rid of it, and if he plays a Tyrion, we'll deal with that as we come to it.
Hey, give me that.
Do I drain life? That? He could Blessing of Kings it. That'd be the only concern. I think if you Blessing of Kings it, we can handle it with... I mean, we can awkwardly handle it with Hellfire and Drain Life. I'm going to life tap and see what I get. At the same time, life tapping, even if you don't hit something you want, it makes the Twilight Drake just that little bit stronger. It might mean the difference between him trading between 1 or 2 cards, you know? Like, it could really change what happens. I think I'll just play Giant and Drake together. I can afford both, even if no matter which order I play these, so I'm thinking maybe Drake first to make him big, and then Giant, because I can afford it anyway. Normally I'd play Giant to get the discount, but that means either get him cheaper, and that at 1 less life, or that 1 extra life, and then pay 5 for that. I think that worked out alright. I think I now have board state over him, which is good. My creatures are so big I can Hellfire them and feel nothing, which is also good. That is annoying. One thing I can do is trade both Twilight Drake and Mountain Giant into these 2 creatures, play Sylvanas and Void Terror together and steal this Giant, and then I think I'll be in a pretty good position. The alternative is just play Lord Jaraxxus. Now he has 1 extra minion. That makes things worse for me. That 1 extra minion means that I only have a 50% chance of stealing the Giant, and I don't like that. I don't like those odds. They're not good enough. 100% or bust. So what? Unfortunately, I don't have the mana to be able to handle these, I think. I think I required 6 for her, 3 for that, so it leaves me 1 mana. Unfortunately, I don't have any Mortal Coils. I could clear it with a Hellfire.
I wonder.
I think I'll play a Hellfire into Molten Giant. Alternatively, I could play a Sylvanas right now and prepare myself for the next turn. Taking 8 next turn, I actually don't think I can withstand 8. I really wanted to steal him this turn. I'm probably just going to remove that. I think that's going to be the way.
met.
I'm going to play the Giant while he's cheap. I'm going to collide him here and finish it with Drain Life. Yeah, battle for board states, right? Unfortunately, he had just one too many reinforcements for me to do the Sylvanas Void Terror combo. He had just one too many, and it would have been 50-50, and that wouldn't have been good enough. Lay on hands. I think, unless he does something really relevant, he just dies this turn, because we can just use Alexstrasza. He goes to 15, then he takes 16 damage, so we're just going to do that. There we go. Yeah, we actually sort of skipped a step there, the step being Jaraxxus and then preserve our life total with, you know, constant Alexstrasas and so on. Anyway, that worked out alright. Anyway, those 3 games, I'm not too sure to what to think of the performance of this deck. I think I can't really recall how many I won. I think I won 2 and 1 loss. And I think at least one of those wins was probably not deserved. So, I'm not too sure what I feel about this deck. I mean, this was the deck that I sort of knocked together, if you've seen the first video of this mini-series. I basically put it together and ran with it. So, I would like to tweak it. It seems really good. At least, it just needs to be more refined. Maybe I need to tweak it for particular matchups, I'm not too sure. Anyway, hopefully I'll see you next time. Come chat to me on Twitter and leave a comment in the sections below. My name is Super Chicken.